Elites were right about Donald Trump, right? I'm a never Trump guy.
Has Trump seen this?
President Trump tweeting a surprise endorsement of Mitt Romney for his run.
How'd that turn out?
Look, I love Trump, but he's getting it wrong with J.D. Vance, too.
I might have to vote for Hillary Clinton.
People who voted for Trump voted for him for racist reasons.
Where does he get off saying that?
We've got our own eyes and our own ears.
J.D. Vance is a fraud.
Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this.
Carly Fiorina at the end there? It probably wasn't Carly Fiorina. Anyway, so that's an ad targeting J.D. Vance, if it wasn't clear, coming from the Club for Growth, who supports in this Ohio Republican Senate primary Josh Mandel rather than J.D. Vance. And Jordan, I love that ad. Where does he get off saying that? I don't know. Maybe he paid attention to you guys. Like, that was a pretty funny ad there, implying that the guy that Trump picked isn't sufficiently pro-Trump. What do you think?
I think it's hilarious. So yes, coming from Ohio, having seen Josh Mandel's career and evolution over the years, it's so funny to see this ad trying to hit JD Vance for flip-flopping. You know, Josh Mandel has like changed his like personal political branding multiple times in pursuit of higher office. You know, he's run for Senate a couple times. He got his teeth kicked in by Sherrod Brown. He eventually got treasurer and immediately started hooking up all his buddies with like cushy jobs. Like the guy is he's a total opportunist. People don't really seem to like him. I think he just rode a red wave to get treasurer. But other than that, I don't think he's going to be able to beat Vance, which is sad because Vance also sucks.
He's terrible. Yeah, and he's also proven. By the way, like the ad is kind of ridiculous and all that, the way that they're trying to attack it, but not because they're wrong. Like they're right. Yeah, no, he's doing the Tucker Carlson thing. He identified the cultural thing that's going on. He understands the very transparent psychology of these people. He knows what they want to hear, and he has no core, so he's perfectly willing to just say that to them. And that's what JD Vance is doing. And arguably that makes him a very dangerous person. These are like, this is political psychopathy is effectively what it is. It's sure they have an actual agenda. Don't get it twisted. He and Tucker Carlson, all of them are right-wing populists, which means they use even more xenophobia to get the same exact economic ends that old school Republicans do. They want tax cuts. They want businesses to not be regulated and all that. But along the way, he'll do awful things. JD Vance is the guy who had the "Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?" ad. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And pointing out the flip-flopping could be an effective strategy, but it's undercut by a little bit by the fact that Donald Trump has already endorsed JD Vance. So again, he seems to be okay with the fact that JD Vance has flip-flopped because his current flop is in the direction of Trump.
Part of it is that they just all know that Josh Mandel is a loser. Like they know Josh Mandel isn't really good at this. He's failed multiple times. He's kind of all over the board on what he is running on and stands for and who he is. Like they don't really need to deal with that guy. They know deep down JD Vance is going to be a guy who will say whatever he needs to do to get elected, but he's ultimately just going to act on corporate interests. This is a guy who has deep ties to Peter Thiel, Silicon Valley. You know, that his solution for helping Appalachia and the Rust Belt is bringing more tech investments there and bringing more venture capital there, which is just gonna like further impoverish an area that desperately needs help. And part of the blame is on Democrats. Tim Ryan took JD Vance on a bus tour through the Rust Belt several years ago, being like, yeah, you should help bring Silicon Valley venture capitalists here. So it's like, that might be who ends up being on the ballot in November. It's like, congrats, dude, you helped do this. Good job.
Wonderful, wonderful. There are alternatives. Morgan Harper, not saying anything, just saying.
Yes.
Anyway, really fast. Just want to mention a couple things. One, Josh Mandel apparently like isn't doing actual rallies. He's just appearing on TV. Great strategy, you dummy. Anyway, back on April 9th, Donald Trump was at a meeting with David McIntosh, a rally. McIntosh, by the way, is the chief of Club for Growth. At that point, Trump said of McIntosh, he's a winner. He's a fighter. We're undefeated when we work together. And McIntosh said, "You're a great man. I am so proud to partner with you." So they were fine. That was April 9th, a couple weeks ago. Club for Growth is now going after JD Vance. They haven't stopped despite the endorsement. As a result of that, Trump asked an intermediary to deliver a text message to him saying, "Go F yourself." They were just buddying around like 2.5 weeks ago. Anyway, as of right now though, Vance is up to 23% support among primary voters. He was at 11% in March. So he has jumped up, perhaps because of that endorsement. Josh Mandel is at 18%. He had been at 20% in March, and the others have dropped too. This one candidate, Mike Gibbons, went from 22% down to I think 13%. So right now, JD Vance looks like he's in a position to potentially win. We'll have to see. Maybe this ad can do some damage to him.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.